Welcome to my reading of The Legend of Giddie. This is a light sci-fi young adult short story set in the early 2100s. It includes an LGBT romance, a female main character, brief descriptions of gore and violence in 2 scenes, and other fun stuff. I hope you enjoy. Part 1. Brass instruments blare through the lavender air. The sound pangs in my head like a hammer against an anvil. I had rehearsed this ceremony excessively, but my hands still shake and my knees won't stop bouncing against the velvet robe. Breathe in, breathe out. My mouth warps into a smile. As I push open the doors, my silk sleeves sparkle. I remember Mother's reminders. Walk with my back straight and my chin high as I stride down the aisle. I meet my mother's approving eyes. After the music and applause stop, my stomach squeezes even tighter. Mother begins her speech. The annual Royal Games had ended yesterday, and where I am now is the closing ceremony. My family is part of the royal people, those who preside over all the ceremonies, so we have to talk at the end of it. My speech comes after my mother's. Even if I don't have much to say, I still have to defy social anxiety to go through with it. I am pleased to present my most prideful daughter, Princess Veda of Highland, Mother says, gracefully gesturing toward me. I smile without twitching and lean forward as a sign of respect to the people. The games have ended for this year. Thank you to the many who competed with persistence, and thank you to those who certainly cheered with persistence. Till the next year. In my long purple sleeve, I've concealed a wand. I wave the wand and wield an array of magical sparkles. Everyone cheers as color dances over their heads. Before my skin starts to itch from the attention, the ceremony ends. Fortunately, time passes quickly to the afternoon after the ceremony. I don't have the cloak anymore, so I can't wield the wand. Instead, I'm in normal street clothing to match the people roaming around the market in the lowlands. Most people haven't seen me up close, so they shouldn't recognize me. The only part of me that's really distinguishable is my royal clothing. My long brown hair, white skin with teenage pimples, and average body don't really attract much attention alone. There's a celebration in the market. There are so many tastes and smells, of ripe fruit washed with clean water, and bread as long as your arm that you can break with a fine, satisfying crunch. I look around, happy that all these men, women, NBs, and children are enjoying themselves. The voices of people living their lives float to my ears. I pass through them, looking for anyone who could use some help. That's when I see someone who doesn't belong. The 2 eyes that were shining a second ago in the dark alley disappear. Why is someone back there? I slowly approach the alley. As I do so, the shuffling of feet echoes softly against the tight walls. Trash litters the edges of the buildings, slowing my speed as I pursue the fleeing sound. Soon the sound disappears, replaced by the sight of someone on the floor, curled up and alone. Loneliness shrouds me. It feels like a mix of gray and black? Why does it profoundly feel like color? Even though my sense of foreboding warns against it, I walk closer to the person. The feeling of loneliness goes away and is replaced by some other, lighter feeling. A round face looks up. Their short black hair seems like it's glued to their head. It's cut unevenly, like they did it on their own with a blade. Their eyes are wide and frightened. Beneath their rags of clothes, splotches of dark brown and white unevenly decorate their skin. With a bath, they could likely be quite beautiful. Their chest is heaving. They're scared. My own anxiety makes my skin tremble. I need to think of them as a scared and lonely kid instead of a mysterious stranger. I kneel down a couple feet away from them. Hey, I'm Veda. Who are you? I say. They squeeze their eyes shut. That same disturbing loneliness washes over me once more in a wave of bleak gray and black. Can you talk? I push through the murky feeling orbiting this person. I have a theory of who they might be, or rather, of what they might be. Are you something other than human? A short spurt of white flashes into my mind. Now I know what they are. They're a malformed human. They can't talk. In their kind's legend, it is said that they can talk through sending colored feelings to another person. I've heard that they're repulsive. Being a royal, I only have 2 choices of what to do with them. I can make them my slave, or I can kill them. Killing them seems extreme, but I don't really want to deal with a malformed human. Why do they have to be so weird and uncommunicative? Still, no one deserves to die just for existing. Since I found them, no other royal can make this decision, not even Mother. I stand up straighter, suddenly feeling superior. I'm no longer scared, now that I know what they are. A pang of remorse goes inside me, though, when I think of my decision. I have to seem nice to get them to come with me. Hey, let's go. I have somewhere I can take you, I say, sweeter than the syrupy smells of sugared fruit wafting from the market. They don't smile, but they do slowly push off the ground. I hold out a hand and smile. I don't really want to touch them, but I have to seem open. They take my hand with a light grip, refraining from greatly changing their expression. Their eyes are still scared, but they show a little willingness. My smile quivers at how easy this is. I guide them out the alley, through the streets, and to the steps of the castle. They look back the whole time, at least until we climb the steps. Their eyes gape in wonder as they take in the castle. I lead her up all 900 steps to the towering doors. The guards recognize me and prepare to open the doors, but they hesitate to let the malformed human inside. After explaining what I plan to do, they let us pass through the doors. The first room is full of colors and beautifully built. It is from the early 2050s, so of course it's abundant with color. I always loved the vivid blues, pinks, reds, yellows, gold, and stark whites that appear in this castle. For a second I feel something bright highlight the air around the malformed human, as quick as a gasp. They let go of my hand, run to the center of the room, and start spinning like a ballerina. I twist my face so I won't burst out laughing. This teenage malformed human is acting like a little kid. Their colors become more passionate. I'm knocked to the ground by the bright colors radiating from them. My hands take the shock of the landing, making me wince. How was I knocked to the ground with color? I growl under my breath. I quickly lurch to my feet. After they're done bouncing around like a cartoon character, they fall on the ground, their mouth open as if laughing. I pull them to their feet and lead them up the spiral staircase to my room. They see the soft colors on the staircase and send out a giddy red feeling as they run ahead. Wait, I call, anger deepening my voice. Can't catch them in these common clothes. They hold their arms out, like they're embracing the place. They seem to realize that they don't know where they're going, since they come back and climb the steps with me. I open the colorful doors to my room. The malformed human sends out a pink flavor of feeling, and I think, judging by the look on their face, that it's a squeal. They run in, and are as ecstatic in my room as they've been in the rest of the castle. I motion that it's time to go, and they reluctantly follow me out. I need to take them to the council, to tell them what to do with this malformed human. At least they got some enjoyment out of this before their punishment. I tell them to wait outside the door while I change into a glittery dress. They love it so much that I have to clench the door frame to keep from being knocked over again. We hurry down the stairs. I'm pleased to be able to run again, and the malformed human is probably eager to see more color. When we reach the council room, I pull on the bell rope to call the council. The bell tolls for minutes outside, the sound searching out those who must serve. After 5 minutes, the council is all here, sitting in their raised seats. The malformed human and I stand on the platform. Please state your purpose, the head council person says. I bow and say, I found a malformed human. I point my hand to the malformed human. I found them in the lowlands, in an alley. One of the council members asks, death or enslavement? Enslavement, I confirm. Then it is finalized. This malformed one shall become your slave. You have our stamp. The head councilman holds out a piece of script with an inky purple stamp. I walk up the many long steps to receive the parchment, my boots piercing the silence. Once I have the decree safely in hand, I descend the stairs. When I pass the malformed human, they follow me. They're jumping like a cat, trying to clasp the sunlight from the large stained glass window. They can't go back to the streets, and they can't just be sentenced to death. I must have made the right decision. Gingerly, I roll up the script. I need to take this parchment to the tag maker. I tell the malformed human, come on. When we reach the top, the malformed human jumps again. They poke all the shiny colored tags with their finger, distracted by all the color. When the tag maker looks at me, I see that they're different than the one I'm used to. The new hire has more wrinkles, and they have to stoop forward so they don't hit the ceiling. What are you permitting today? The tag maker asks, their voice somewhat muffled by their black mask. I'd like to permit this malformed human to be my slave by the order of the council. I unravel the paper and lay it onto the table. Yes, the tag maker says. Right then, what is its name to be? I look over at the malformed human and say the first thing I can think of. Giddie. Giddie. Alright, typed in it is. I pick out a pink tag, and a few minutes later the tag maker hands me the engraved product. I have to drag Giddie away from the shop to get them to refocus on me and not the color. But as soon as I show them the tag, a pink aura of giddiness rises from them. I put the collar around their neck. "Now you have a name, Giddie," I say. They play with the angle of their shiny metal tag, making it reflect light onto a wall. Giddie is actually kinda cute when they play around with color and light. They seemed dark before, but now they seem more open. Still childish, but at least they aren't putting up a fight against enslavement. Perhaps they could be tolerable. Giddie and I exit the shop. We return to my room in the castle, which is now also where Giddie will spend most of their time. I need to teach them to clean. I hope that they know something about cleaning, but judging on their looks, I'm dubious that I'll find good results. I show Giddie the sucking machine that clears dust. The sucking machine makes a whirring sound, which evidently makes them jump. I show them a spot heavily piled with dust and use the machine to suck it away. Giddie waits for a second, and then their face highlights with an idea. They lift their hands. A ray of green light escapes from their mouth. Bright green sparks zap around the room with pops and crackles. Blue swirls come next, carrying the dust out the window. Then bright yellow rays shine, making the wilting plants rise up once more with life. Color wafts all about the room. It's cleaning, mending, and more. I'm gaping awkwardly, but I don't blame myself because that spectacle was amazing. Maybe they are more than they seem. When they stop with a beaming smile, I say, "Giddie, this is fantastic." Their smile falters and they fall backwards onto my bed. "Giddie." Concern jolts through me. They hold their hands up, signaling that they're okay. As they slowly sit up, I sit down next to them. Maybe I could be somewhat nicer to them than I have been. I know you understand me, but I don't understand you very much. Can you speak? I say. They have a dumbfounded look on their face. They point to their mouth. I nod and repeat my question. Giddie shakes their head and throws their arms out to the room and points to their mouth. I say, "You seem to like color." Giddie bobs their head. "Something to do with color," I say. Giddie nods and points to their wide-open mouth. "Color is your language?" I ask. They nod once more, and then point to their ear. "Ears. Here. Do you hear something?" I ask them. They shake their head. Then they circle their hands toward them. Back. "Color? I guess." Giddie nods and points to their ear again. "You hear color too?" I ask. A misty white aura of light glows around Giddie for a second to match their beaming face. "Wait, do you also see it? Like me?" I say. Giddie is frozen for a moment, then laughs with a carefree yellow aura and shakes their head, still pointing to their ear. "You only hear it," I say. Giddie nods. Then they point to their ear and use their hand to do something. Can't tell what, though. Slowly, Giddie gets up and beckons me over to my tech screen. I look at the tiny symbol she is jabbing at. It is the sound wave, the symbol for volume. Giddie points to her eyes with one hand and thrusts her finger at the symbol repeatedly. I slowly connect the pieces. Stunned, I say, "You see sounds?" Their face is beaming in bright pink. Yellow bursts from their face in short spurts. I smile. Their colors are kinda stupidly endearing. "There. Is it there?" "Hey, Giddie, what pronouns do you prefer? They, them?" They tip their head and shake it. "She, her?" She nods, yellow brimming from her face. "Me too," I say. Giddie grins as she walks to the balcony. Light purple spirals out of her mouth as her blank eyes overlook the expansive view outside the palace. Then Giddie stares at me with wide eyes, clearly asking something when I feel the blue from her. Almost as if she's asking, "Am I staying here?" "You are going to be staying here, if that's what you're asking," I confirm. Warm colors release into the dimming sunset sky, her smile radiating most of them. Can't wait to know what happens next? Click on the link in the description and you can read The Legend of Giddie in its entirety. Or if you prefer the spoken version, stay tuned for the next part.